just worrying, and then sometimes you wake up a bit down, and then it causes distortion in our plan of movement for the daily work that we'll have to do. But why not? We soldier on. Our focus is very clear, and it is to build a better national service where we would have moved away from this cancer that has eaten so deep into the very fabric of the organization that otherwise should be at the forefront of youth development empowerment. My resolve is so solid that henceforth we are done with this serious, disastrous, horrendous orchestration of issues at the authority, and that I can assure everybody that that is the way forward.
We knew that this was an investigation in motion, but Mr. Senanu, did you expect this? I mean, the magnitude of this criminal enterprise that, as the Attorney General put it?
Absolutely not. I mean, the level of collusion is so shocking. One would expect that persons of such high stature would not engage themselves in this kind of activity, especially if you understood our systems. The day of reckoning was sure to come. The expectation that you could get away with creating your own companies and siphon on money, and ultimately nobody will find out eventually, I mean, the impunity of that is what is shocking, that persons should collude and think that they could get away with this. I hear the acting director general's assurances, but you see, when you have systemic problems, because this can only have happened because there was collusion across the value chain and because there were systemic failures. I don't know how internal audit works there. I'm not quite sure what the external auditors found or did not find. I'm not quite sure why sample validation of whether these persons existed or not did not happen. And so there are more questions than answers. I think that an assurance without detail will even make us more worried. So definitely not expecting this level of collusion, given the officers and their positions, and the extent of criminality in terms of the intentionality in creating companies, picking people's IDs. That's just mind-boggling. And I hope that, in this country we shot people for less. So sometimes you hear these things and you're wondering, did we come or did we go?
Well, if you don't mind, Gyamfi, very quickly, because I need to move.
All right, Mr. Senanu has alluded to the comments that I made. I'm very mindful that this is a TV program, but if we were have enough time to go through what backs the assurances that I've given, I would give, and then we'll leave nobody in any doubt about our commitment to clear away this mess.
Well, because even after this mess, you have also, in the past, I think 6 weeks ago or so, you reported about another fraudulent scheme you have uncovered.
Well, that is, there are different levels of issues that we're dealing with at National Service. This payroll names fraud. It is one that we are dealing with it at the heart. We have. Oh,
you haven't dealt with it. It's an ongoing problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that I'm mindful that this is a TV program. It probably maximum I'll be here for 30 minutes. What the issues are, yes, and I'm not going to be able to tell you everything in just one show, what we have done and all that. What you alluded to in the Brim North issue was an issue that involves much more than just National Service personnel and then the people who work there. This is an issue of Ghanaian workers working in private and public organizations, taking their salaries and also taking National Service allowances.
How is that happening?
Well, they come under the guise of doing National Service after they have gone what we call study leave. And then clearly the regulations are that you continue to take your salary after coming back to do National Service. But they were taking their National Service allowances and then taking their salaries. As well, which is it's obviously illegal, but people were still doing it. We know it in the system and we've been tracking it for a while, but this time we had clear evidence and we acted.
So apart from this ghost names matter, there's this other issue as well. Of course.
Is siphoning money from the state. It involves thousands of people, and that's why we acted on Brim North. And the morning I heard about it, I interdicted the two individuals and asked that nationwide, we know and suspected the people who are involved. And then already I asked people to be paying back. We have still gone to Controlling Accountant General and handed over our entire payroll for them to go through with the Government of Ghana payroll, something that has still been done. And people have started paying back money. As I speak to you this morning, we have received back about 550,000. I mean, this information that we've put there is going to involve police officers, soldiers, nurses, teachers, and even people in the private sector.
I see.
This morning,
police officers were part of this scheme of receiving money illegally.
Of course. You know, when we put that information out, you're going to be shocked the number of people who are involved. Ordinary Ghanaians like you and I who go on their duties. In the Brim North incident, there was a custom officer who is working in the customs office, in his office, and then have posted himself on paper to the district assembly and getting...
As a national service person?
Yes. But that is not where we're going to make a lot of savings. Where we're going to make savings and stop this disorderly act that has happened in the last 8 years, it's making sure that no university outside of the approval of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission gets access to do national service.
No, so we're going to get into the layers of the corrective measures you put in place.
Right.
But I'm interested in this. So which category of professionals are we talking about in this latest scheme? This which is different from the ghost names matter we've been talking about.
I think that is going to break hearts if we put the information out there. I have said that we've given people in ample time to pay back these monies and probably go back to the board and ask that this is the information, what do we have to do? Already, like I told you, I can show the evidence on my phone that people have paid back 550,000. This month, we have received far less validations from the district, which I suspect to be people who have now backed away from
receiving
backed away from submitting their manual evaluation forms. In excess of 5,000. I'm waiting to confirm in the new month whether this stays. Then I can come back and report to you whether even that 10,000 more people have backed out. That is something that's very difficult to find out because it's a collusion between our district directors. Some also go without ejection of our district directors. And that is something we're dealing with. But what people at National Service can be assured is that within a minute of it coming to my notice, I mean, they are going to pay for it.
You said someone who is over 60 years old is also part of the people who are receiving national service allowance?
Well, I didn't mention this. Somebody who is working as a customs officer was part of it, and he had posted himself to the district assembly and taking the salary of the customs. Well, now the Commissioner General is going to be interested in it, and I'll give the information to him privately. I think it's going to break his family if we put that information out on TV. I have the pictures, the IDs, and everything that I can put out now. But for good measure, we decided that, you know what, let's see what the board will say about it, because I think there are lawyers on this platform. It has some implications if we just put it out there.
Yes, I was referring to the last time we spoke about this when this issue came up.
The age.
You mentioned the age of someone who is really old and still on the payroll.
I had I have decided that this year, if you're over 40 years, you would not have to do national service. But the law clearly does not forbid people who have over 40 years to do national service. It sets a lower limit, but not an upper limit. By convention, what we had done is that if you're over 40 years, we'll give you an exemption not to do national service. It is something that we are looking up to.
I see.
Maybe this year we have to, the board of the scheme or the authority has to say clearly that, you know, if you have over 40 years, you do not have to do national service. I think the thought is that they are still very strong and able, experienced people who have gone back to the university and they are willing to offer their service to the nation in certain critical areas. And we should allow them to do national service. There should be a good balance between preventing crime and then allowing them to offer their service. And that I will leave it for the board to decide.